Chicken here, bring you another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Captain Everspark's universal remote, how to use it in operations, how to use it in player bases, how to use it to your advantage, and we're going to get into some kind of just some basic strategy, and then maybe a couple tips and tricks that people might not know about how Everspark works exactly. So to start off, let's give a little summary on the remote control. While flare walking, if you flare to the ground, Everspark ignores the remote control. If you flare to any building, even HQ or a cell, and activate Everspark's hacking ability, she will instantly stop and use her ability immediately. This can be abused to walk her together with troops to a straight line and then use it to separate her from other troops, but be careful, of course, since you need to flare at something forward, so it may spread out the walking paths a little bit. So in terms of target priority for Everspark and her universal mode, it works the exact same as Zuka, so the damage target is what's going to be the most damage defense is what's going to be targeted first. So before that, an active flare fired before you hit the remote control has no influence at all on what she targets. If defenses in her range are damaged, then the hacking ability is done to the defense with the lowest health bar, not the lowest health, not the highest damage in operation, and you kind of have to do the math on remaining health / initial health. Defense with the lowest value wins. If defenses are in her range, the one closest to her is targeted. If no defenses are in her range, the closest defense to her is targeted, and she walks to it until it is in range, and then uses the hacking ability from there. So we're gonna jump into another attack here. So big shout out to Empire Business again. They're helping out the chicken with this little kind of like how-to guide, whatever. I don't know. We're just kind of having fun with the abilities here. So we're looking for DD. Where are you, DD? Here we go. Alright, so we got DD going in on red line here. This is actually a pretty interesting attack. Kind of a weird layout because usually all those cannons are rocket launchers. But anyways, so as far as getting her to walk with troops and stuff under smoke, if you're still under smoke and see that, or sorry, we're going in on the target ability still. If you're still under smoke and see that wrong defense will be used for hacking, you can either destroy her hacking target, or you can use a flare to retarget her onto something else, obviously. If she's flared to not a hackable building, then Everspark will walk until in range of something that of a defense, not a prototype defense. We learned that the other day on the War Factory video. But she's just going to walk into something that's she's able to target and then target that. So basically, to sum it up, you can't use the hacking ability while flare walking to a ground flare, but can interrupt the flare walk immediately when flared to a building as soon as hacking is active. You can change her target, move her by throwing another flare. So she's not going to do it automatically, more or less. So for operation strategies, which we're kind of showing a bit here now, you can use her for mine clearing, no boom mines. You can take a lonely shock launchers or rocket launchers to reduce needed shocks. You can use the hacking ability about 3 or 5 times in an operation, depending on your gunboat energy. And the good thing is that it works guaranteed for the first time, no matter how bad resmoke. Her delay to use the ability again after, like once she comes out of the smoke is really fast. It's actually faster than any troop attack, hero attack, or defense attack in the game. It's around 100 to 150 milliseconds. However, since defenses lock on first target, she needs to find a way to avoid being targeted by either throwing critters the moment the smoke clears inside the smoke between her and the defenses, or to just simply resmoke. For throwing critters, it only works if defenses are not surrounding Everspark and don't deal splash damage. So it's not going to be that it's not going to be that ideal. So we'll go ahead and get into the next attack here. Who we got next? We got something. We got player going in on cooker. This should be pretty interesting. Alright, so as we were saying, just to resmoke her, it's not that hard. You just basically, as soon as she comes up out of smoke, like a second before that, you hit the smoke again, because she's so fast when she comes out of the smoke that she can hit something else very quickly. So Yeah, like I said, it's not that hard to resmoke her. Try to throw a resmoke when the smoke timer is around 1/8 left in the animation. You must be covered in smoke in 200 milliseconds to avoid machine guns. 300 milliseconds of machine guns still need to turn on you. Mortars, cannons, sniper towers, doom cannon, all do not matter. They're too slow. Resmoking costs a lot of energy, so you can try to walk with Zukas and resmoke all of them while using the hacking ability, or use Everspark alone and use troops that do not cost any energy, example hookahs or skanks or scorchers like this guy's using, just to get some extra work done on the operation hit. You can even deploy your troops while Everspark is still alive. No more flares are needed, but make sure there is no flare currently active, of course. So we're gonna get into some player maps here in a second. So if you're gonna use her with warriors, a good way to do it is just to take out like a lonely shock launcher or a rock launcher or doom cannon or something that's going to be in range on the HQ and cause you problems. It doesn't take a massive amount of GB to take down. So basically you could, to walk through a basic setup of how you do it, you would artillery a lonely shock launcher, deploy warriors and Everspark. Keep in mind she will stay behind. Flare the warriors in a straight line over near damaged shock launcher to the HQ and activate the hacking ability when Everspark's close enough to shock launcher. Wait until the smoke clears for Everspark and the hacking ability is used. Flare warriors to HQ if not yet, and do the normal stuff with one shock less. So it just saves you shock more or less. It's not that crazy, I guess. So a good strategy to use with Zukas on player maps, since Everspark sticks to the Zukas, it's more easy to lead them as one team. She can clear some mines. Same with Brick, you can just use them as mine clears if you don't have anything else to use them for. Flaring to ground spots to avoid spreading the Zukas if you can. If reached, HQ do the following: artillery defense if not done before, flare the HQ for the Zukas, hack, use the universal remote to take control of the damage defense as soon as smoke clears, preferably on the far side of the Zukas, close to all the defenses, so you can use that kind of as a fence or a wall, and then all the defenses attack that, and then your Zukas are left wide open, and then if they get like between 1 and 3 shots on a player base, they're probably going to take it down unless it's got a shield or a lot of ice. Throw critters before the smoke clears, you can, just to make the wall a little bigger, maybe get rid of the one-shot defenses to save you some troop losses. When the smoke clears, you can also use the universal remote one more time if you like, or wait a moment until the other defense is almost down. So there's just some general tips for you guys on using the universal remote. I hope that was helpful, and once we and now we're going to dive into a couple live player attacks. So now, like, based on how the last guide went with the battle orders, we're going to show you some really good hits and some good strategy in the first part, and then I'm going to try to do it and just completely fall on my face in the second part. So we're going to dive right into that. Okay guys, so first out we're going to try the universal remote with the Zukas, and I found a somewhat decent base here, I think. So basically the idea is going to be to get the Zukas in this little pocket here, and then pop the universal remote and then use that as kind of an extra shield, like kind of like an extra batch of critters that you would use. So first thing, we're going to smoke down like this. We're going to get all the Zukas up nice and together with Everspark here. And we're going to try not to lose any delay, because that's actually going to be pretty huge if we can keep that and then get the remote to work like a critter wall. That's going to be big help. So we're going to first flare onto the HQ for the Zukas, like we said. Then we're going to hack. And I'm not sure what she actually hacked. I couldn't really see it. But we'll go ahead and then just flare down like this. And okay, so you see that she actually hacked that cannon. So that didn't really help because she hacked so far behind. Maybe if you're able to flare on something that you specifically want her to hack first, it would probably be a better idea. For that base, we were kind of, I guess, too clumped together to really take advantage of it. But there's the first one, guys. So let's go ahead and try the warrior one next, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys. So we found a pretty decent base, I think, for showing off how to use Everspark with the warriors. So basically, the idea is just to take a couple specific defenses without using too much GB and just making your normal warrior attack a lot easier. So of course we still need to take out the boom mines, because those have to be worried about when you're using Everspark. Those are gonna kill her in one hit, so we definitely don't need those in our way. So you want to hit the hack first, like this, and then flare onto the thing that you want hacked, just like that. And you see that she has pretty good range. I'm only worried about taking out the shock launcher first, because we still have 85 GBE to throw the warriors down, and now we have one less shock to have to put down to use the warriors. So next, this just becomes a standard warrior attack. From here, we're going to take out hopefully that flamethrower and the mines around the core. We're going to launch out the warriors here. So obviously, a strategy like this is going to benefit. A lot more GBE is going to benefit. Kind of like the heroes in general now, you're going to benefit from more GBE than you would like troop damage, say, than you would before the update. So you see here, this is where it's nice because now we only need a few shocks, as opposed to however many we would have needed before. Still didn't have a ton of GB left, but I mean, it should be fine. So that's kind of the idea with Universal Remote and Warriors. Obviously, there's going to be better instances. Like it really does depend on the base using heroes and stuff. So that's basically all I wanted to show for the video today, guys. It is Hammerman Day. I don't think he's actually landed on my map just yet, but I don't know. We'll take him on next week or whatever. So that's gonna wrap it up the video today, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Let me know down in the comments how you've been doing with Everspark and some different strategies or whatever that you would have for her. Let me know that down in the comments, guys. That's gonna wrap it up the video today. We'll see you in the next one. Chicken out. Just a quick reminder, guys. If you visit patreon.com/thechicken for $1 a month, you can get your name in the chicken banner for the duration of the month. And for $2 a month, you become a super chicken, and you can get your name in the banner. Plus, you get to write your own personal message.